Okay, so your green clay tool kind of looks like this right here. And there's a variety of different ones that I have for you all. I'll let you all choose which ones you want to work with. I like to use something that's got like, I don't know, a bigger end, but also a littler end, so I can work with both together. And then honestly, your fingers are your best clay tool, okay? Because it's gonna allow you to work the surface of the clay very easily. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do with my green clay tool, I'll kind of hold this on end so you all can see it, is start to smooth over that seam. So where you have that line that separates one piece of clay from the other, you're gonna start by creating baby bite marks, add a little bit of water in your finger, and then smooth it out. So the last step in the process is to smooth out your clay. So we've scored it, scratch marks, slipped it, added the water, and now we're the first step of the smoothing process. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is pull the clay over the seam. And I'm holding this up this way for you just so you all can see what it is that I'm doing. Let me put it back down so you can kind of see what it looks like from the top. So pulling the clay over the seam like this. And you're gonna do all the way around if you can. Now, if you can't, like within the case of the elephant that I'm gonna show you in a second, that is okay, but you wanna make sure where one piece of clay meets the other that you attach it on as best as you possibly can, okay? So what I have right now is I have baby bite marks all the way around. The only problem with the baby bite marks is that it's not very attractive looking at all whatsoever. It kind of looks like somebody chomped it. And what we really want is we want good craftsmanship in clay. We want to make it look like we know what we're doing. So what you're going to do is take a little bit of water in your finger, best clay tool ever, and start to kind of go around the seam and really smooth out where you have added those really small bite marks, okay? And I'll show you what this looks like. Once you do all the way around the edge, I'm not gonna do that in the interest of time because I don't want this video to be 5 hours long, but let me show you what it looks like on one side. So see how this right here, see how that's really, really smooth? You can't see where one piece of clay meets the other. It's a seamless seam. There is no seam, it's seamless. So basically one piece of clay kind of just almost disappears into the other. That's what you're looking for, okay? This I know will be attached when I pull it out of the kiln, okay? So you're gonna do that all the way around. So baby bite marks with the smoothing, and then a little bit of water in your finger, and that's kind of the best clay tool that you got. Now let's pretend that this elephant has been etched. So all of the details have been scratched in here, etc., etc. Right now it's kind of a ghost elephant. It doesn't have any of that detail. Just one more time to do this, okay? First step in the process, score it, right? Scratch it. This doesn't have to be crazy deep, but it does have to be medium deep. This is gonna go right here, okay? So in here, I'm also gonna scratch it. You have two halves to Velcro, same deal with this. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of water in my finger, add the water, okay, and then I'm gonna smush it on here. Am I done at this point? No, I am not. I have not yet smoothed out the seam, okay? So this is what the seam looks like for the elephant. And what's interesting about the elephant is that, see how his ear pops way off, okay? I'm actually going to attach it only partially around, so I'll show you what this looks like just by holding it up. You don't have to do that on yours. But this is where it's attached on here. This is where it's attached on here. Okay, so little baby bite marks. Little baby bite marks, la 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 la. So I told you initially that we would lose some surface area with that. See how his little ear is becoming a little bit smaller? Told you that was gonna happen, okay? So right now I have it attached on the front everywhere where the elephant touches the frame itself. If I can, and if I feel comfortable, flip it over onto the back and also do the same thing right at the seam. If you can't do that, that's okay. As long as you've attached it on from the front, that's ideal. But I did a little bit on the back, okay? So from here, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is a little bit of water in my finger, and especially on this ear here, I gotta make sure with just that little bit of pressure, that I really smooth that out. Otherwise, the craftsmanship of that ear, it looks like he's got a ragged ear there. Okay, and I've done that right here where it connects. See how there's a little bit too much water there? Sometimes I can take a little piece of paper towel and do that. Anytime you accidentally add too much water, it makes your clay a little bit unworkable, and clay is just difficult to work with anyway. All right, so this is what the smoothing out of that looks like. See how there's not a line where one piece of clay meets the other? That is perfect. So this should be attached on and ready for that kiln. Okay, so just remember, when you are working with clay and you are trying to attach one piece of clay to the other, in order for it to survive that really high temperature, please make sure that you scratch it or score it with your needle tool. Okay, so scratch both surfaces. Make sure you add just a little bit of water. Real slip is clay water, a clay water mixture. You're just using the water. And then last but not least, smoothing over that seam where one piece of clay meets the other. Baby bite marks with a green clay tool of some kind. Okay, a little bit of water in your finger and smooth out over that seam just so that it is effectively attached on, because I'm not going to glue your piece back together if it pops apart. Okay, so good luck. See if you can attach those 3D pieces on.